What's good, YouTubers and YouTubettes? This is JBsports back again with another one. Miguel Berchelt versus Oscar Valdez. The fight has finally arrived, going down tonight, as Berchelt will put his WBO super featherweight title on the line in an all-Mexican battle. Will this fight live up to the hype? Will this be this decade's version of Erik Morales versus Antonio Barrera? Those two Hall of Famers fought 3 times, and all 3 of those fights were epic battles. The first fight probably was the best of the 3, as Barrera upset Erik Morales in a lot of people's eyes, but didn't get the decision, as the judges gave Morales the decision, to the dismay of many people in attendance and many people that watched that fight on HBO. Barrera was able to come back and win the second fight. And actually that fight, people thought Morales won that fight. And that fight was very action-packed. Wasn't as exciting as the first fight, but Barrera got the decision. They fought again the third time, and Barrera got the decision in that fight, in a fight that finally everybody agreed on. For the most part, the majority of the public agreed that he won the fight and he got the just decision, unlike the first 2 fights. Will this be the first of 3 epic battles between Berchelt versus Oscar Valdez? That remains to be seen. But as far as this matchup goes tonight, it's going to be an epic battle. It's going to be very, 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 very intriguing matchup. I think the fight's going to boil down to 2 things. Oscar Valdez is a guy, in my opinion, that's caught in between 2 styles. He's a guy that was a face-first fighter, a come-forward fighter that threw left hooks and right hooks, would mind taking a couple of punches to land his money shots. But he's in his last fight, he under the tutelage of Eddie Reynoso, the world-renowned trainer Eddie Reynoso, who also trains Canelo Alvarez, who's on all experts' tops pound-for-pound list. And he also trains rising young star Ryan Garcia, King Ryan Garcia. And he has tried to change his style, and he seemed to struggle in that style in his last fight. He was able to get the decision versus a much lesser opponent that he's going to be fighting tonight, fighting the champion, the WBO champion, Miguel Berchelt. Now, when you look at the matchup, I think Oscar Valdez is going to probably go back to what he knows best, and that's the toe-to-toe fighting. Throwing those left hooks. He's got one of the best left hooks in the division. But the problem what he does that I think is going to come to his demise, especially tonight fighting Berchelt, is he throws wide punches. His left hooks are wide, his right hooks are wide. His punches are just wider than Miguel Berchelt. Miguel Berchelt throws much more straight-up punches. So the straight-up punches are going to get to the mark quicker than those wide punches. And I think that's going to be the difference in the matchup between Miguel Berchelt versus Oscar Valdez. That in the combination of Valdez fighting 2 different styles, and I think he's going to be trying to figure out what style works best. I think he's going to probably try to come out and box Berchelt early on. That's not going to work. And I think he's going to go back to what he knows best and go to war with Berchelt, and he'll have his moments. But again, he throws those wide looping shots. And I think that's going to be the difference, as Miguel Berchelt throws more straight, more accurate shots. And I think his shots are finding the mark more consistently than those wide looping shots from Oscar Valdez. I want to take Oscar Valdez. I like his swag. I like his attitude. But I just think the wars that he's been in previously has taken a toll on him. I don't think he's the same fighter he was maybe 2 or 3 years ago, due to the war with Lee Selby, as he suffered a broken jaw in that fight. Took a sustained beating in that fight. He was able to win that fight, but those are the type of fights that takes years off your career, and you're not the same after you've been in those type of wars, a la Diego Corrales versus Juan Castillo. When those 2 guys fought that first fight, Diego Corrales was able to win that fight, but he was not the same fighter after that fight, as he fought maybe a handful of more times after that fight before retired from the sport of boxing. Same thing with Muhammad Ali versus Joe Frazier 3, the Thriller in Manila. Ali said, we came into that fight as champions, and we left that fight after it was over as old men. And neither one of those guys were the same after they fought that epic battle in the Philippines, in Manila, Philippines. And I think this the same goes to a certain extent to Oscar Valdez. I don't think he's the same fighter after that war he went with Lee Selby. So we'll see what happens, and we will definitely see what transpires. Leave your predictions in the comment section. Who you think gonna win this fight? And give me a prediction of what round you think the fight's going to end in, or do you think it's going to go to a decision? Let me know who you think's going to win this epic battle. But it's going to be a good fight, man. But I just think that the difference is the straighter shots of Miguel Berchelt will carry the day versus the wide looping shots of Oscar Valdez, a fighter, again, like I said earlier, who is fighting two different styles. He's trapped in two different styles. And when you're trying to do two different things, you're not going to master the one thing that you need to master. You need to go one way or the other. This is only his second fight, fighting that style that he's fighting under the trainer Eddie Reynoso. They're more of a boxing style, more of a fighting off the back foot style, more of a using your jab, controlling distance style. And I think it's asking a little bit too much for him to master that style in this type of fight, fighting a world champion, Miguel Berchelt, in the second fight, fighting that style, to be able to win that type of fight, especially after struggling with that style, fighting a less opponent in the previous fight. So we'll see what happens. We'll definitely see what transpires. But let me know your thoughts on that matchup, Oscar Valdez versus Miguel Berchelt. I said Miguel Berchelt wins that fight, and I think he stops a game Oscar Valdez. He stops him in the 11th round. Stoppage, TKO, as Miguel Berchelt retains the WBO super featherweight title. Now I'm gonna mention one caveat to Miguel Berchelt. His last fight, he fought a guy that's not on the world class level. Just to be nice, the guy is not a top level fighter by no means, and he didn't look that impressive. But I'm gonna chalk that up to, he knew he had a big fight set up with Oscar Valdez. That was just a fight that he was just trying to get through without, taking any kind of getting cut or taking any kind of injury that would push back the mega fight with Oscar Valdez. He just did what he had to do to get out of that fight and win that fight. But he did not look that great in that fight. And if that Miguel Berchelt shows up against Oscar Valdez has a chance to win that fight. I'm just going to give him the benefit of the doubt and say he was just fighting a lesser opponent. He was fighting down to the competition, as they say. And I think you'll see the old Miguel Berchelt in this matchup tonight with Oscar Valdez. You'll see the Berchelt that we know and love, and he'll be on point and he'll be on top of his game, and that'll be enough to beat a game Oscar Valdez. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section, and hit the like button if you like the content of this video, and subscribe to JB Sports, the man, the myth, the legend. I'll holla.